I was going to just give like a really quick, just little overview of some of the GA4 questions I've been asked lately. Just a couple questions that I've got both internally and from clients recently that I just wanted to bring up. One big thing that people are noticing is event count in GA4 is so much higher than UA. And at first glance, that really looks like a mistake, and it's not. GA4 is really event-based, so everything is event. So when someone's clicking through the site, you might have 15 page view events. Similarly, one restriction in UA is goal conversions generally can only convert once per session. That restriction does not exist in GA4. So if someone fills out multiple contact forms, you could have multiple generate lead events in that session. So you're not always going to see a one-to-one matchup between conversions in UA and conversions in GA4. That's not always going to be the case. Similarly, goals or conversions as we know them don't really exist in GA4. We are setting up events. And if it's an important event to people's business, it might be a conversion event. That's just like another area that we can toggle them on as conversions. Otherwise, it might just be an event because in GA4, just about everything is an event. There's definitely a lot of things that we can read about there, but I know that's definitely tripping some clients up when they see their event count is like 4,000 versus 100. And they're kind of having that like, what's going on? Everything is an event. That's why it looks so high. Another thing that I know has come up is internally, just like why wasn't a certain event set up? Not all events in UA got moved over for a couple different reasons. One of the biggest ones is I have yet to run into a client or one of our client sites that's using a chat that integrates with GA4 yet. As a general rule, most clients chat so far, we can't set up in GA4 yet. CallRail is another really big integration that doesn't exist yet. I don't know when CallRails is coming because I originally had heard this summer and clearly that's not going to happen. And I think their newest date says before UA sunsets. And there's also just some weird in general behavioral goals on some clients that were set up 10 years ago that decision was made that they were not going to be moved over for a couple of them. Some events also in GA4 are auto-tracked. And some of the biggest ones I think that clients have run into so far is clicks off of a website. User engagements on the website, such as scrolling down, clicking on items, a lot of that is automatically tracked. Scrolls are automatically tracked. It's also tracking file downloads. And then another big one we're seeing is a lot of video interactions. It's automatically tracking. That can be interesting if the video is playing in the background or something like that. Some of those seem to maybe inconsistently trigger like video progress or video watch views. So that seems to be a measurement that we'll maybe just need to keep an eye on, take with a grain of salt. Another thing I just wanted to bring up, but GA4 debug view is something that I think when I first heard about it, I was kind of underestimating how cool it is. But essentially what it is you open up preview and tag manager. It opens up a window of the site and you can click around and there's a screen in GA4 that you can just see the events. You can see page views. This is how we're testing a lot of events, how conversions are happening. You can look at the variables there that are coming in, see if the item array is correct. And it's been pretty time consuming, I think, internally for us to test all of those, but it's really, really helpful. And it's how we've been getting a lot of these events troubleshooted, really. I think events has been the hardest one for clients. Everything is an event. And I think that just mentally, a lot of clients are not understanding what that means. And like when they look at measurements, and like, I'm not kidding when I say some of them event count goes from like 100 to 4,000. And they just have that like, you did something. No, we didn't. This is how GA4 works.